There are so many reasons that we as crafters get left with a single skein in our stash, and I often have absolutely no idea what to do with just one skein. So whether you have been gifted a skein from well-meaning friends and family, or you've got single skeins left over from other projects, this is the video for you because I am going to take you through a roundup of some patterns that use only one skein of yarn or less, so that you can finally get through those lingering balls of yarn sitting in your stash. And I promise there is not a single dishcloth to be seen in this roundup. They are all projects that you are actually going to want to use. So let's get into it. A lot of these projects I have actually made, and there are a few in this list that I also just have my eye on and really want to get to soon. So the vast majority of them tried and tested and true to form, use a skein of yarn and are things that you are going to want to use, want to gift, or are things that you're just going to enjoy making. First, we have two plant pot holders. I made both of these as gifts over the previous Christmas period, and both of them went down very well as gifts, so I can confirm they make a great thing to put under the tree, wrap up and give to your friend for a birthday gift, or if you are anything like my mum, while I was growing up, having in your little gift box stashed away so that when you need to give someone a last minute gift, this is ready to go. So the first one is this plant holder from Heart Hook Home. This one gives like macrame vibes. I can't personally do macrame, so I really enjoyed making this crochet version instead. I used about 50 grams of yarn for this, and I made the large size. There are two sizes in the pattern. Perfect little single skein stash bust. And the other plant pot hanger that I've got for you is this diamond plant hanger. This one is by Retro Fresh. This is like a bit more of a neutralish vibe, I want to say. I feel like the first plant pot hanger has kind of like a boho feel to it, whereas this is a little bit more neutral. The shape is a little bit more subtle to it, and it's just a great option for gifting. So this one I think used even less yarn, used maybe 40 grams of yarn. So if you've got one of the larger skeins of Lily Sugar and Cream or like 100 gram skein, you can definitely get two of these out of it. The next one that I've got is one that I have not made, but I really want to. It is this Mosu bag. I got gifted over Christmas a bag that is similar in shape to this, but it was a sewn one. I got it from my Secret Santa in our Discord. It's such a good project bag to take on the go with me. Often when I am like commuting into the office, I will want to take just a small crochet project with me, and this was like the perfect kind of bag to put within my work bag. So a crochet one would also be very fun, I'm sure. This one is also made in one piece, and the only sewing you have to do is kind of when you get to the ends of the straps, you sew them back onto the bag. So super minimal sewing, all made in one piece. Looks like a great construction, and I am excited to use this one. Then we have this pencil case. This one is from Persia Lou. I made a really similar pencil case again over Christmas. I think the only difference between the one that I like freehanded and made and this one that I found is the way you seam up the sides. So although I haven't made this exact pattern, I can like confidently say it is a great single skein stash bust. And it's also just like a super useful thing. I feel like everyone has a use for a pouch in their bag, especially one that's like pencil case sized. So great for gifting again, as with most of the patterns on this list. The next one I have for you is a new pattern that is up on my blog for free, and it is this water bottle sling. I made one like this over Christmas this year to gift once again. My mum got it and she was very happy with it. It uses a combination of double crochets and mesh stitches, and it's just a super quick, super easy project to whip up. It took like less than an hour, including the strap, which I think is a great feat. And it also uses about 40 to 50 grams of yarn, so the perfect size for your one skein project. Next one on the list is one that I have been wanting to make for ages. I remember seeing this on like TikTok so long ago, and I immediately saved it, and then I just never got around to making it. But it is this tote bag insert by BRB, and it's just incredible. It looks so handy, and I use tote bags all the time, and my problem with them is that I do always lose stuff at the bottom of them. But if I made one of these tote bag inserts to put in there and hang off the handles like this one is designed to, I wouldn't lose stuff in my tote bag so much. So I think this is a really useful project. It might be one that I make this weekend even, because I just have been sitting on it for so long and I need to make one. I think it would be useful for any like tote bag people out there, so put it on your list. This next one is perhaps less of a gift, but maybe one that you will want to gift yourself by making, and it is this crochet hook holder. This one is by Crochet Dreams. It is a free YouTube tutorial. I think it would be really useful to have something like this if you do a lot of projects while you're traveling and things like that, because I personally just use a pencil case, but every time I'm like trying to figure out if I have the right hook in there for a project, I'm like digging through like 6 or 7 different hooks to make sure I've got the right size in there. So I think I need to be a little bit more organized. I think I need to make myself one of these crochet hook holders. Then of course we have some maple leaf coasters. I made these for my brother over the Christmas period. I made 4 of them and 4 of them came to 40 grams. So even a whole set, you could probably make a set of 6 out of a skein of yarn. They're really, really cute. They are a nice, quick, simple project. Once you've made one of them, you kind of get the hang of it and you can just pump out the other 3 to 5, depending on how large you want to make your set. I think they're a beautiful option. And honestly, you could probably make a set of any coasters with 1 skein of yarn. If these ones specifically don't like float your boat, go and have a look. There are so many great free coaster patterns out there, but this one is just one of my personal favorites. Then we have 2 different book sleeves. So the first book sleeve option that I've got on this list is the Meadow book sleeve. This one is by LTK Cuties. There is a paid pattern. There is also a free pattern here on YouTube. The size of book sleeve that you can get out of this really depends on the size of your skein of yarn. So I was using an Aran weight for this one. This is the small paperback size and it's about 120 grams of yarn, so you would need a bigger skein. However, the Kindle size is only about like 90 grams of yarn. So if you have like 100 gram or less skein of yarn, that is the way to go. And it's a really fun pattern. If you want to check out LTK Cuties, she's also got like pouches and cup cozies and things like that that use a similar stitch. But I just really, really love this stitch. I think it's really cute. It's super fun to make. So definitely an addictive pattern to be adding to your list. And the other sleeve is the Kindle sleeve that I have for free here on YouTube. It is, again, super beginner friendly. You only need like 3 stitches to do this. It's a very simple, repetitive pattern. So once you get in the groove of it, it can be quite a mindless make. Again, you can adjust the size really easily as well. I don't actually have any here to show you, despite the fact that it is my own pattern, because I have either sold or gifted them all at this stage. So I really need to get some more into my little gifting stash, but I highly recommend checking both of those book sleeve patterns out because I think you will become addicted to both of them. Then we have this dice or like trinket bag. I really wanted to include a little dice bag in this because I think there are so many cool patterns and designs out there for these. This one in particular is by 5 Little Monsters and it actually comes with 3 different design options. So they are all laid out on the blog where the pattern is. I love the idea of it. I think it's a great idea not only for like tabletop gamers who have dice and things like that, but also just people who love trinkets. And I love trinkets. I also really think my nieces would love these because I have 2 little nieces and they love taking things around with them, or like if you go on walks, they find things, they want to put it in a little bag, and it is the perfect size for little people. This one is like really versatile, I think, and I am looking forward to giving it a go. It is one of the few patterns on this list I have not actually made myself yet. Next up, we have the Crochet Bobble pouch. This one is by Crochet by Sky. She is a New Zealand crocheter, so another person from down under, which we love to see. The free tutorial that is online not only teaches you how to do the bobble pouch, but also how to add a lining and a zip. I think that if you didn't want to take those extra steps, you could absolutely put a different closure on this pouch, like put a button or a couple of ties on it so that you can close it that way instead. But if you do want to learn how to put a zipper in or how to put lining in, or if you already know how to do those things, that is also absolutely an option with this pattern, and Sky takes you through them all in the tutorial, which I think is awesome. Then of course I couldn't do a 1 skein project without including a bandana on it. I have made so many of these bandanas in the last like year or so. It is one of my favorite mindless projects. It works up so quickly and you get the hang of it so fast that it becomes a really beautiful, mindless, easy project to do. And I really love the little scalloped edge that's on it as well. I think it just adds a little something to it. The one that I use is by Marching North, and it is the Granny Crochet Bandana. I didn't mention it, but of course, all of these pattern links are in the description below, so you can head there and find all of these wonderful patterns, but we still have a couple more to get through first. The next one of which is this crochet phone stand. This one is by Planet June. I am really, really excited to make this pattern. I haven't yet, but I did take a look at how it's constructed and it's super quick, super simple, and I just think that phone stands are really, really handy to have. I have one on my desk, but I often I don't carry the phone stand around with me. So I kind of want to have one that we can have in our lounge room, because if you're anything like me, when you're crocheting, you are using either your phone or a tablet to look at the pattern that you're crocheting from. And I think having an extra phone stand like this out in the lounge room where I can place my phone or tablet while I'm crocheting would be super helpful. This one does look like, from the photos, you can use it for both a phone and a tablet. So I'm calling it a crochet phone stand, but it can also be a tablet stand, and I'm looking forward to making this one soon. Next up, there is this Flexagon Fidget toy. This one is by Yarn Andy, and once again is a free pattern here on YouTube. I believe there is also a maybe paid written pattern as well, but if you're looking for, just some free things to get you started on your one skein stash busting journey, this is one to use. I think fidgets are always really handy to have. If you're someone who works an office job and you have a lot of meetings, it is nice to have something that you can just kind of play with, especially if you're working from home and, need to get your frustrations out at meetings that could have been emails off camera. Using a fidget toy, great plan. I have seen people using these. I'm not sure if this is the pattern they used or if there are other patterns out there, but this is the one that looked like the most accessible. So I would highly recommend checking it out. I am definitely going to be checking it out very soon. The final pattern on this list is kind of more of a scrap busting pattern. I made one of them when I was trolling the internet for one skein projects, and I think they're really cute. It is this Garnet bead wristlet. I made mine using scrap yarn, so I don't think the beads show as well as they probably could and do in the pictures, but it is a great size. I also didn't have exactly the right lobster clasp that they use, but I just used a keyring and it's turned out fine. My God, if you can hear the rain, it has been lashing rain here all day, so my apologies. This one only took literally 15 grams of lily sugar and cream, so I genuinely did use total scraps on this. So if you have some yarn left over from all of these other wonderful one skein projects that I've been giving you, and you find yourself with 20 grams left and you're wondering what to do with it, may I present this Garnet bead wristlet. I don't think I mentioned it, but it is by Hooked on Homemade Happiness, and it is a great little pattern. You can also adapt it to be a pacifier clip or a whole bunch of other things. They have a lot of options in their blog, so highly recommend checking that one out as well. Also, after making this, I have fallen in love with the bead stitch, and I really want to find other patterns that use it and or just start using the stitch anyway, because it's a really, really fun stitch to work up. If you haven't come across the bead stitch like I hadn't before this, highly recommend checking it out as a nice little taster for a new stitch for you. Those are all of the patterns that I have for you today, but I will leave you with some other ideas that I didn't find specific projects for to put in this list. There are so many things that you can make with one skein. Some of the maybe less exciting ones are things like pot or bowl holders. I came across a lot of those while I was looking. Also things like placemats or doilies, or of course dishcloths, which I promised weren't going to be in this list, and they weren't from a pattern link perspective. Something else useful I think you could make would be a bag saver to store your plastic bags in. We have a plastic bag ban here in Australia. I'm pretty sure you have to pay for them if you want them, but we still end up with so many even though we never pay for plastic bags. So I don't know how that happens, but having a bag saver would be very, very useful, and it might be one that I seek out an actual pattern for, but I have definitely come across a bunch of them while I was looking into patterns for this roundup. Another option would be wall organizers for your jewelry. I also saw a wall organizer to hold a book on your wall. I think that is a pretty niche thing to want, but if you are someone who only has one book on their nightstand and you'd rather it was up on the wall, those exist too, so you can check that out. Also, picture frames. I have been finding that I'm coming across so many more crocheted picture frames, and I think they'd actually be really cute to make and then have on your fridge or something. We have photos in our fridge, and why haven't I crocheted picture frames for them? I don't know. That's another option as well. And finally, I will also say that there are a whole bunch of amigurumi patterns that do use only one color. So if you've only got one skein of yarn, you could also make some of those. Things like octopuses or cats or like rabbits, really any animal that comes in just one color, you could make a version of it in a single skein of yarn that you've got. Whew. Okay, that is all of the patterns that I've got for you today, all of the extra ideas that I've got for you today. If you would like more pattern roundups like this, let me know down below what kinds of roundups you want to see. If you want a part 2 of this, I can find some more one skein projects for you, because I honestly think that there's never too many projects to use our single skeins of yarn on, you know? I do also have a bunch of other roundups already on my channel. So at the end of this video, you can check those out. I will have it up on the screen for you to go and have a look at those ones. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. If there are any of these that you would make or you plan to make, drop them down in the comments below. And if you have other ideas for one skein projects, I would love to hear them in the comments as well. Don't forget to subscribe if you like this kind of crafty crochet content. I make crochet vlogs, market vlogs, all kinds of stuff related to crochet and yarn. So hang out with us on this channel if you want. But that is all for today. So I will catch you in the next one. Bye!